Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. It is my distinct honor to welcome Governor Christie to OIT and a privilege to introduce him this morning for a really important message for the state as it relates to IT and cybersecurity. Before I do so, I want to sincerely thank the Governor for his leadership on cybersecurity and IT issues. Technology is the key enabler of government services in the digital age, and here at OIT, we're committed to delivering those services in a secure, efficient, and reliable manner, and I thank Governor Christie for helping us take a big step in that direction. So without further ado, please welcome the Governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie.
Well, good afternoon. I want to thank Dave for his hard work, and I'm glad to get here personally. I wanted to thank all of you. You now, in today's world, are the backbone of state government. And I hope you understand that. I certainly do. And I hope that you understand it. And that's one of the reasons why when Dave and I have been working on this executive order and taking OIT to the next step, providing you with resources that you need to be able to do that, and Dave's leadership to be able to make that happen. When we talked about that, we both decided that I didn't want to sign this executive order in the governor's office. I wanted to come here and sign it so it would give me an opportunity to thank all of you personally. Here's the real bad thing about OIT. When you're doing your job great and everything is going well, no one notices you. And the only time they ever mention your name is if something goes wrong. If something goes offline, if something doesn't work right from their own individual workstation throughout this entire government, to a website access, to something that's happening in one of the outside agencies. Please believe me that I understand that. Here's the good news for you. I understand and remember every day that when all of those things work quietly and well, it's because of you. And I want you to know that I appreciate that very much, and that you also have an advocate in Dave inside my office to fight for the things that need to be done and to try to bring information technology in New Jersey state government to the cutting edge. And we, as you know, and I'm sure you have been frustrated by, we have been far from it. But I think we've made enormous progress in the last few years, and I think with this executive order, there's even more progress to come. Think about the fact that OIT was started in 1984 by Governor Kane. What the hell was OIT in 1984, right? When you think about 33 years ago, what we consider to be information technology, Governor Kane deserves a lot of credit. It was a vision to set up an Office of Information Technology 33 years ago. And the landscape has changed so much now that you really, as you know, are dealing with all 71 of the state agencies that you have to deal with, and 8.9 million citizens, all of whom now, or at least most of whom, have access to the internet and want to interact with their government in a way that they can do so not by getting in a car and driving to Trenton, but just sitting at their keyboard at their kitchen table and sending an email to a responsible person and hoping that they get a response. I elevated this position when I hired Dave to cabinet level for two reasons. First is that given the fact that you're the backbone of the state government, this is an acknowledgement by me, and I hope by future governors, that you deserve to be sitting at the cabinet table. You deserve to have a representative at that table that can speak with the other cabinet member for the resources and the approaches that you want to take. The cyber threats and attacks that we have now, both that come from the private sector and come from other governments, are a serious part of the risk of putting as much of our information in the places we put it. And we need to remember that for us, we're representing a lot of information from private citizens. that we safeguard here in state government. And if any of you in this room have gone through the nightmare of identity theft, and I have, it's ugly. And so we need to do everything we can to make sure that we don't contribute to that possibility for any one of our citizens. So the executive order I just signed, number 225, is setting in motion a course of action that will deliver more secure, efficient, and reliable IT services across the entire executive branch of state government. In terms of security, our administration has invested $10 million over the last year to bolster our cyber defenses and reduce the risk of the risk to our IT enterprise. New Jersey Cybersecurity and Communications Integration Cell, NJKIC, I'm told, that's what they keep calling it. We established that by executive order 2 years ago. It's now the envy of other states, and we have many other states calling us and asking us how we set it up, how we got private sector participation, and why it's worked so well. And we're sharing that with other states so that hopefully they can learn from our experiences and by us being there first. But we know that identifying the threat's just half of the battle. Over the last year, the state has reduced its cyber vulnerabilities through large-scale hardware and software modernization projects, both within our data centers and across the departments and the agencies. Finally, the best intelligence and newest technology is of little value if the users don't practice good cybersecurity, which is why we're prioritizing security awareness training across the executive branch to be headed by OIT. In addition to security, efficiency should drive our decisions as well about IT. Our commitment to operating more efficiently ranges from investments in infrastructure to cloud-based software for email and other collaboration services. Over the past 7 years, we've demonstrated the will to make the upfront investments in more efficient technology that will yield millions of dollars in savings for the next administration who doesn't have to do that and will benefit from that efficiency. Of course, they got to be reliable. And we have to try to pick the best types of systems to ensure the OIT's fully redundant data centers are the future home of our government's private cloud, a unique merging of computer storage and network capacity to meet the modern-day business demands of state departments, agencies, and even county and local governments. So we're doing that, and I think it's a commitment that should have been made quite some time ago, but one that I'm glad that we're making now to bring ourselves into a much more modern way of dealing with managing our information technology. We've also taken some pretty aggressive steps to shrink the footprint of our government, from shrinking the number of state employees to reducing our leased properties. Our government is much smaller than we found it. We're also reducing our IT footprint. Our IT infrastructure now occupies less square footage and consumes less power than it did 8 years ago, even as our demand for IT services is at an all-time high. I'm directing Dave through this executive order to inventory all of the department and agency's IT assets and to identify opportunities for centralizing common infrastructure and data center functions under OIT. Now, those are some nice words. Let me tell you what I'm really saying. What I'm really saying is I am tired of having each department have their own IT stuff. It makes no sense. We have an Office of Information Technology. They should manage this. They should manage it. They should run it. And I know that there's not a cabinet officer I have, including Dave, who wants to give up any of their fiefdom. Well, you take my information technology away? How many employees does that mean I'll lose? Well, that means you're going to lose some. But it's the right thing to do. If I have a choice, and I'm just going to pick one cabinet member that everybody knows I really like, so when I say something bad about him, people won't think I really don't like him. I love Bob Martin. He's been with me for 8 years as the head of the DEP. But if I have a choice between who's going to run IT for DEP, Bob Martin or Dave Weinstein, I'm picking Dave Weinstein every day of the week. Okay? Every day of the week. And every cabinet member should feel that way. And this executive order puts every cabinet member on notice that in our last 7 months in office, we are going to inexorably begin the conversion to a centralized IT function at OIT and having all of that come out of the departments. They don't know how to do it. They certainly don't know how to do it as well as you do. And I want you handling this problem for the people of the state and this opportunity for the people of the state going forward. It's not going to happen overnight, but if the Office of Information Technology exclusively performs this function in accordance with its statutory authority and responsibilities, the departments and agencies don't have to worry about it anymore. They can focus on their main mission. Bob Martin can focus on protecting the environment, not worrying about how his IT is working. Beth Connolly can worry about dealing with the human service issues we have across the state. Allison Blake taking care of children and families, and so on, and not worry about this part of their portfolio any longer, especially since we have the talented people, over 700 of you, in this department to handle that issue. You all are not only responsible, of course, for maintaining and modernizing the IT infrastructure of the executive branch and now all the departments and agencies. I'm telling Dave, you're going to seamlessly align these things, seamlessly align our programmers with the departments and agencies and thus the constituents they support. No more of this separate but equal. Because what we know is it's not equal. You could do it better, and I want you to do it better. As we continue to take the steps today to enhance the security, the efficiency, the reliability of our IT system, we also have to embrace technological innovation and be prepared to adopt it in management. Overall, we have improved the state's cybersecurity and our information technology by leaps and bounds over the course of the last 8 years. And our work's going to continue well into the next administration because technology will continue to evolve. It'll continue to evolve and modernize and get different and better, and we need to have the people who best understand that in charge of making those decisions. Part of being governor is not only making decisions, it's about deciding which decisions you shouldn't make. That there are other people better qualified, better informed to make those decisions. The hard part for a governor is you've got to decide who are those people and make the right choice in terms of the expertise of those folks. But then once you make that decision, my view has always been, you then push that off to those folks to make those decisions if they are better trained, better informed, and have more expertise than you do. I have no question in my mind, and I'm sure none of you do either, that Dave Weinstein's a hell of a lot more qualified than I am to make these calls. Even his background, his experience, and his passion for this work. I want you all, under his leadership, to be making these decisions. And I hope and trust that this is something that's not partisan. You know, when your computer goes down, they don't ask you whether you're a Democrat or a Republican. All right? And when you come to help somebody with a problem, I suspect they don't ask you what your party affiliation is either. This is not a difference of party. This is about a common sense approach to taking us to a new level in terms of our information technology. And what we know is our customers, the 8.9 million people of the state of New Jersey, are going to demand we do it. If you look at any of us in this room, at least almost any of us, our children know a lot about this stuff. And they live their lives much differently than we did growing up. You know, my kids don't ever look at a newspaper. Ever. Every bit of news and information they get is over their phone or in their laptop or on their iPad. They don't process, research, do things any way like we did it when we were their age. We have to acknowledge that in this respect as a customer service business. They don't want to hear how complex this is because to them it isn't. They want us to be able to deliver the information they need, the services they need, in a way that they want to consume it. And for them, it's usually through a phone or through a laptop. And so we need to make sure that we meet that demand. Because if we don't, we're not doing our jobs. And so this executive order has been long in the making. And the reason it has been is because I said to Dave, I want you to give me your wish list on what you want to have done, how much we progressed and what we need to do from here, and then let's agree to do it together. That executive order represents Dave's best ideas, which I'm sure are a product of his conversations with many of the people in this room about what you would like to see have happen. Now is the bad news. Now it's your job. All right? I'm done. I signed it. I gave you the authority. Now it's all you. And Dave knows that I will be calling him regularly to ask him how things are going. How much progress are we making? And unless it's a problem that the governor's office isn't giving him something he needs, I expect to see results. But I also have a great deal of confidence that the people in this room and those you represent can deliver those results. And that's why I'm shifting so much responsibility and authority to you. Today, a lot of people won't recognize this, but I know all of you do. this is a big day in changing state government. To take away that authority and personnel from every one of the state departments and agencies and put it in your hands is a sea change in the way government is managed, given how integral information technology is to the everyday operation of government. So this is a big day and a big change. And your leader here has been advocating for this for a while with me, and he's convinced me that it's the right thing to do. And I believe that we will lead the region and the nation by doing this in a way that makes sense, that's efficient, and is effective for the people that you work with every day and that we serve as our customers. So you all need to understand not only how grateful I am for your hard work, but how much faith and confidence I'm placing in you. And I hope that in some small way that makes a job which is already meaningful to all of you even more meaningful. Because as the elected representative of the people of this state, I'm giving you that responsibility on their behalf. And given everything I've gotten to know about Dave over the time we've worked together, I have complete confidence that he wouldn't ask for it if he didn't believe you all were ready for it. And so I believe you're ready. I believe the state is long overdue in doing this type of thing, and now it's time for us just to get it done. So I want to thank all of you for your hard work. I want to thank you for accepting this new responsibility, although quite frankly, you had no choice. Once Dave and I agreed on it and I signed the paper, it's like, you know, there's the door if you don't like it. We're doing this. But I don't believe that's the spirit inside this agency. The spirit inside this department is can do. The spirit inside this agency is like, get it done now. You wouldn't be in this business if that wasn't your attitude. And so I turn it over to you with really great sense of confidence and optimism that it's going to be done and done extraordinarily well. And that all of you will have an opportunity to have even greater responsibility and I hope a greater sense of satisfaction when you leave work every day, knowing that the work you're doing is truly meaningful and truly having an effect on people's lives who use this technology to get the information they need to help government be a part and a positive part of what's happening in their lives. So I'm jazzed about it. I feel good about doing this. I'm thrilled that Dave brought these ideas to me and was willing to advocate for them in a really effective way. And that's good news for all of you going forward, too, to have a leader who is able to deliver in that way, because it's not always easy. So I want all of you to have a good summer. Although the weather hasn't looked like summer is anywhere near here, today is better. And we know it's coming. And so I want you to enjoy your summers with your families. I want you to enjoy the work that you do here every day. And I want you to know that as governor, I'm extraordinarily grateful for what you do. And the public is going to be very grateful for you making their information more secure and available, because you can do both. And when that happens, then we will be meeting the mission that the people expect of us. And that's why I hope we're all in these jobs. So thank you for taking the time to let me come over and visit. Thank you for letting me thank you. And thank you for the effort that you put in every day. There'll be lots of people who don't recognize still, even after today and after they see this on the news and read it in the papers, about how important what you do is. But please make sure that you know that the governor knows every day how important what you do is, and I appreciate it very much. So, David, it's all yours now, buddy. You know, sink or swim, babe. Here it goes. You asked for it, you got it. So I look forward to you all supporting Dave in every way you can, because if you don't, he's a dead man. I'm telling you that, right? So make sure that you do it every way you can. I know you will. And I look forward to the great results that we're all going to produce together for the people of the state. So thank you for having me today. I appreciate it very much.